I'm Mike Randall, and today we've got a very special feature for you. We're on location with my good friend Bill Gough, who is one of the top Allstate agents in the country. Bill, how are you today?
Doing great, Mike. Glad to be here, man.
We're very excited about you doing this video with us. We wanted to give the consumer something to answer some questions about insurance, and Bill is an insurance expert. And Bill, I'll just start it off with, what are some of the common pitfalls that people kind of overlook, or things they overlook in their policy, or things maybe that they're not covered that maybe they think they're covered?
Well, Mike, it could be a variety of things, and pretty much what we're talking about here today, folks, is as it relates to home and auto insurance mostly. So, of course, Mike being in the real estate genius that he is, and before I get started on that, let me just say this, and I've worked with Mike Randall's now, I don't know, Mike, 5, 6, 7 years, maybe longer.
Yes, sir. Yes,
but he is, and obviously he's on top of his game. I mean, look what he's bringing to you guys today. And I've seen some of Mike's past videos and stuff, and you're doing an excellent job on that. So when you called me and asked me if I'd be a part of this, I was honored, and I considered it a privilege to be here.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate that.
Thank you. Very excited.
But anyway, what was the question again?
Back to the insurance.
We're up here building up our egos. But the pitfalls that a lot of people face is that they don't know what they don't know, and this is especially true for first-time home buyers, Mike, because they've never had homeowners insurance before. They barely may even know what their car insurance is. Our lives are so busy now, and we're shooting this in late 2009, and even next year it's going to be even more busier. But I recently read a study where we are seeing over 3,800 messages a day that come across us. And this is in the form of whether you turn your TV on, your radio on, running down the street with a billboard, any of that stuff. People are busy. And one of the things that people don't think about is insurance, because, well, especially for a first-time home buyer, you look down, you got a list of what, 30, 40 things you got to get done before you close?
That's right. And
one of them is insurance. And you got to have homeowners insurance, but you're not in a flood zone, so you don't need flood insurance. Well, that's true to get your home, to get closed. But I can tell you, the chances are, if you ever have water get into your house, unless it's a bursted pipe, you're probably not covered.
So if a water street main were to bust in the middle of the street, water comes into the house, you're not in a flood zone, you don't have flood insurance, you're in trouble.
Well, you're in trouble from the standpoint of not being covered, yes.
Yeah, what was that, the self-insured one?
That is the self-insured. You've got insurance yourself, and you're going to have to take care of everything on your own. This is exactly what happened to my aunt and uncle about 10 years ago. Exactly what happened. I got a frantic phone call from my aunt at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't share this with you before. You get a phone call from her at 6 o'clock in the morning, and water's pouring in her house from a pipe that bursted outside and run into the house. Guess what? The city didn't take care of it either. They were out all that money.
Wow.
So that's just one thing. But let me say this. What you really need to do is to find an insurance agency that you're comfortable with. And I'm not talking about an 800 number that you see all these ads on TV. I'm talking about a local person or someone that you can get on the phone with, someone you can go see if you feel comfortable going down and talking to eye to eye. But get on the phone with and that has your best interest in mind. I'm not talking about somebody that's going to shove policies down your throat. Our philosophy here at our agency, and it's always been mine, is that if you would just treat customers like they were a family member and look for every possible discount you can, even on your own policy, look for every possible discount you can. But be careful on protection. Don't sell yourself short on protection, and let that let that licensed insurance advisor guide you in ways of what to look out for.
Right.
That is key. That is really key.
So what would you say, Bill, to, obviously we working with clients, they've got all these things, the home inspection, when we get under contract, we get the home inspections with the termite letters, we've got all these, the due diligence period and making sure that, there aren't any surprises. But a lot of times it's just like you said, when it comes time for that homeowner's insurance policy, a lot of times they're kind of just shopping the rate. They're not really. So what would you say to the consumer that says, hey, I'm out here trying to get the best rate? I guess it comes back to that, find someone you trust.
It does find someone you trust. You definitely want to get the best rate.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely want to do that. But and the way to do that is to package your home and auto coverage together with one company. That is the very best discount you can possibly get. And if you can pack it, and companies today have great discounts, have great programs for packaging policies. So you want to talk to someone that you trust, you want to get, and you have to look at the overall picture, what you're paying on the whole package. Because, and another thing is you have to consider many things like deductible. If you had a loss, what could you afford to pay out of pocket? I typically recommend a 1% deductible. So if you got a $100,000 home, then you want somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,000 deductible. But a good insurance agency or an agent can show you the difference in a matter of seconds of what the difference between a $500, $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, and on up to $5,000. The higher your deductible, naturally, the lower your risk. When it comes to auto insurance, and auto insurance is something that I know we think of real estate and insurance, we think mostly of home, but auto insurance is something that you're going to use more in your life than anything else because, let's face it, houses aren't out on the road riding around trying to have a wreck.
Right.
There's as many messages. Exactly. Yeah. They're just trying to dodge the tornado. But with auto insurance, that is where I would recommend. One of the pitfalls that I see mistakes people make is that they don't insure against the big dollars and they insure against the small dollars. Now, what I mean about that is that your collision and comprehensive coverages, and then we're getting I don't know how deep we want to go here, but whenever you get into collision and comprehensive coverages, what I'm talking about is the insuring the value of the car. I would take the highest deductible possible you could get on that. Right. Therefore, you're going to lower your premiums and take a bunch of liability insurance. You cannot have too much liability insurance.
Now, the liability insurance covers the other person.
Covers the other person, covers the other person's property. Let me share a story with you,
okay,
if I can do that. Mm-hmm. We all know that we're shooting this in December of 2009, and so everybody knows right now that Tiger Woods had a car accident a few weeks ago, right? Well, unfortunately, we've come to learn that a lot of things have happened since then, but the news at first was Tiger Woods hit a fire hydrant.
Right.
A few years ago, an agent friend of mine had a customer that ran over, not a fire hydrant, but ran over one of those little green boxes on the side of the road.
The utility boxes?
The little AT&T boxes,
right.
South Central Bell boxes, that contain all the fiber optics, the wires, all that high-tech stuff.
Right.
Guess how much that thing cost to replace? $65,000.
Oh my goodness.
Now, guess how much insurance the person had?
How much?
$50,000. So, customers out $15,000. Do you know what you know how much it would have? You know what it cost that person to have $100,000 versus $50,000?
A few bucks a month.
$3 every 6 months. $3 every 6 months.
Wow.
And a policy review will help you with that. So not only when you first purchase your policies, it's incredibly important to review your policies, and we recommend reviewing them at least once a year. As fast as things are changing right now in the insurance world, more discounts, new companies we can write through, you really need to be checking your policies once a year for a policy review. You get those calls from me asking you to call about
absolutely,
that.
Absolutely. And I'd like to say that I personally have all of our insurance, so my personal insurance is through Bill Gough's company, the All-American Agency. I could go on and on with this video about my testimony this company has had, not only with my family, but also clients that I have sent to Bill that I can tell you they have this Bill's company, in my opinion, is the epitome of going the extra mile. He has went the extra mile with several clients that I've sent to your company. You have an awesome staff. And Bill, if they want to get in touch with you as far as to see the type of service and the level of service that you provide, to get those estimates, to sit down and review their policy and see maybe how you can help them, how can they get in touch with you?
Well, I'll give you the main office telephone number. It's locally here in Florence. We also have an agency over in Huntsville, and we also have one in Killen. But the local number here in Florence is area code 256, of course, 765-2200.
And you write insurance in not just Alabama?
Well, we're licensed in Alabama, Tennessee, Mississippi, and Georgia. So if you have, we have people that have vacation homes in other places. They have family over there, and so we'll be happy to talk to you, talk to anybody there.
All right. Well, folks, I think that's a wrap. You've just heard from the insurance expert, things to look for. If you need insurance, please call Bill's office. They'll do a great job.